Hello friends, welcome to my channel Hira Techies. This is our Angular 21 tutorial part 15. In this video, we can talk about template-driven forms in Angular. First, let me tell you what is form. The forms are a set of features that help us to handle and manage user input in the structured and efficient manner. Okay. In Angular, we have three types of form. The first one is template-driven form. The second one is reactive forms. The final one is signal forms. So the template driven form is very simple form. If you have a limited input field, we can go with this template driven form. So if you have a complex logics, then we can use the reactive forms approach. The final one is signal form. So this is a new feature introduced from Angular 21. So as of now, it is in the experimental mode. By using the signal form, we can manage our form state in our Angular application. Okay. So next we can explore this template driven form. So this template driven form heavily relying on directives in HTML template to manage form validation and data binding, and it is ideal for simple form with basic validation requirement. Okay, so let me show you. Okay, this is my application. For this implementation we can use this temp form component. Okay, so the first thing is we have to import form model. It is available in this Angular/forms. Okay, and the next thing is in our HTML side, I am including one normal form tag and adding one identifier user form. So in this template driven form, we need to add directive ng form. Okay. Next, let me add one input control. And we need to include ng model directive. So finally, if you are using this template driven form, we have to add a name. It is mandatory. Okay. I am just providing first name. And let me have one button submit. Okay. So now if I look at the UI, we have one small text box and one button, right? And adding one event ng submit. In this event, we can pass our form. Okay. Let me include it. So finally, in this TS side, we can define this function, and it is ng form, the data type. We can provide like this, just to format it. Okay. So now, if you look at the console, there is no value. Once I click the submit, we are able to get this value, right, in the object format. So similarly, if I'm including one more field, so like our existing field is first name, so the second field we can add as the last name. Okay. If I'm trying once again, see, we got object and there is two values. Okay. So next we can see how to use our data model in our template driven form. Okay. So what I'm going to do, let me define our model here. So here we can provide first name, last name, email. So instead of the password, we can provide gender. Okay. We format it. Okay, we are getting some error. So let me move this interface into top. Or else we can move into the separate file. In our case, I am keeping in the same file itself. And also making this into export. Right? Now the exception got resolved. Next, let me define one object. User object, okay. And data type is user. So make sure we need to include the default value with all the fields, okay. Now it's fine. Let me format it. So next we can bind this object in our HTML side using two-way binding concept. Okay, first we can take this field So here already we have this NG model. I am just removing this one. Instead of that, I am using this two-way binding syntax, NG model, and here this user object dot first name. Okay, we format it. So the same way we can use for the username as well, right? And our third field is email. So let me include one new field for this email. Okay, now the email also done. So the final one is gender. Let me include one more field. From the suggestion we got password. I am just changing this into gender. Okay. And also the control, instead of the input we can use the select control. And the default option we can have with only empty value. Select gender. And the same two-way binding we can use it here. And I'm removing this input field. So now if I look at the UI, the design not looks good. If I go to the console side, I just cleared everything. Once I click the submit, I'm able to get this object. Okay. For the design, let me add some static CSS. Nothing. Okay. For the input and select, added something similarly form and button and this form control. Maybe this form control class, I can use my all the input controls. The design you can handle in your own way. Now if I look at the UI, still we have some alignment issue, but somehow it is okay. So next we can bind all those values in the UI side. We have this object and we used the two-way binding as well. So at the bottom I'm going to have one new div and have one p tag. I'm including this object, okay, and using this JSON pipe. So if you are using this JSON pipe, make sure we need to import the pipe. Okay, pipe. We are able to see the initial value with the empty value, just providing cookies. Okay. Similarly, while submitting this form, if you look at the console, there is no value. So while submitting also, we are able to get the same values. Okay. So the next thing is we can apply the validations. Okay. So in the template driven form, we can use the basic validations. So what I'm going to do in our HTML side, first in our first name, we can include this required validation. I just added this property required. Okay. So the same way we can include for this last name and this email field. In this email field, we can include one more validation, email. Finally, in this gender also, we can include the same required. Okay, the validations are included. So the next thing is, so normally if you are working with a form, once we click the submit button, we are able to get this object. Finally, we may need to pass the some services. Okay. So before that, make sure we need to verify whether we have a valid data. Since we are applied the validations, so first we can verify from the TS side. Okay. So in this submit section, form dot valid. If it is valid only, we have to capture this information in the console. So let me format it. So now if you look at the console, there is no value. Okay. So now I just entering some value here, and once I click to the submit, see, there is no value. Okay. Once I choose all those value, if I click the submit button, we are able to get this value. Okay. So the next thing is make sure we need to show the error message in the UI side. for all those validations. So first we can add a validation message for this first name. Okay, so what I'm going to do in our HTML side, so already we have this name, and additionally I'm going to add this identifier and include in the beginning. First name. And then we need to show our error message. Let me include one span tag, and providing the text is first name is required. And in the CSS side, I'm defining one class error. The color should be red. Now if you look at the UI, by default we are able to see this text, right? First name is required. Maybe instead of the span I can use div tag. Okay, now it is comes in the next line, and by default we are able to see this text. Okay, so here I am going to apply one small condition that if the first name should be invalid and also touched. So in this situation only we are going to show this message. Let me show you. So now if you look at here, I am just to refresh the screen. Okay, so there is no validation message. So if I'm entering here, okay, now also it's not showing. So if I enter some value, now it is fine. Okay, at the same time, if there is no value, then we are able to see this text. At the same time, once I entered, the error text should be released. Okay, so if I blindly give this invalid, so then in the initial load itself, so the message should show. That's how the thing will work. See, so initially itself it's showing. Once I entered some values only, the error message is disappeared. Okay, but our expectation is whenever our form is initially loaded, there is no need to show any error message. Once I comes in the particular field, so then based on the value we need to decide whether the value is valid or invalid. Based on that we have to show this error text. So that's why we are including this touched condition as well. Okay, now we look at here, the initial load is nothing showing once we are in the field, but I'm not entered some value. So now we are able to see this error message. Okay, the same validations we can apply for this all the fields. I'm just copied, right, and included for this last name. Fine. So the same way can include for this email, and finally for this gender. Okay, so here the thing is we are getting some error. The reason is I am not included this identifier. That is the reason. Okay, added for this email and this last name through the intelligence it's included. Okay, now if I look at here, see, there is no error message. Okay, the error message are showing. Similarly, if I'm entering the actual value, so see here in this email field I entered some value. Since it is validating for the email format, then we have to provide the exact email format. But this is fine. Similarly, we can make this button field also disabled if we don't have any valid values in our form. Let me do that as well. In this button side, we can include this property binding disabled. Okay, and our form user form, it is invalid. That's it. You know, now it is in the disabled mode. Similarly, I am entering all those values. Okay, now it is enabled. So in case if I'm doing something, see again it's got disabled. Okay, fine. Okay, this is fine. Currently, we handled one object value using this template driven form. Next, let me show you how to use the nested objects here. Okay, for doing that, we have one directive, that is ng model group. Let me show you. For doing that, I'm going to add one more field address so that we can keep as the separate object. Okay, so the first thing is, in our model class, I'm adding this address, right? The data type is string. Okay, and we can provide the default value here, right? And at the end, right, similarly in our HTML side, we can have one field. After this gender, I'm adding this one. Okay, let me provide the name as address. So we have all the validations and everything. And finally, if you look at the object also, we have this first name, last name, email, gender. Additionally, we are able to see this address. Okay, so now for this address field, I am going to use this ng model group. Okay, so what I'm going to do, let me include one div tag, right? We can move our address section inside the div. Okay, and in this div, I'm using ng model group, and the name I'm providing additional. So now we are able to see this object, and similarly if you look at the console side, okay, there is no value, and also I am unable to submit this form. So what I'm going to do, let me include some actual value here. Rajkumar. Okay, so since we are using the two-way banding with this object, so here there is no difference. Already we have 4 fields. Additionally, we have this address as well. But once I submitted, if you look at here, see this object. This is our main object, and in this main object we have this additional sub object. Okay, maybe I can show you once again. See here, we have this first name, last name, gender, email. So instead of the address, we have a field additional. If we expand this additional, we are able to see this address only. Okay, so this additional, the name coming from this ng model group. Okay, maybe if I'm changing this into ADDR, now see, it should be ADDR. So similarly, we can do the grouping also. Okay, so now we are in the end of the video. Still, if you have any doubts or clarification, please post in the comment box, and also please don't forget to subscribe my channel. In my next video, we can see one real-time example with this template driven form. Thank you. Thanks for watching.